Listen carefully, because what I'm about to share with you will change your life forever. 30 years ago, I sat across from a man who had everything: looks, education, connections, opportunities. But he was stuck, completely stuck. His hands trembled as he told me about his failing business, his mounting debts, his sleepless nights. "I've tried everything," he said, his voice breaking. "Nothing worked." That man taught me the most important lesson of my life. You see, it wasn't his circumstances that held him back. It wasn't the economy, his competitors, or bad luck. The real battle, the one that determined everything, was happening inside his mind. Every morning, he woke up already defeated. Every challenge confirmed what he already believed, that he wasn't good enough, smart enough, strong enough. Here's what fascinates me. Your mind is like a battlefield. Right now, at this very moment, thoughts are clashing, beliefs are fighting for dominance, and the outcome of this battle shapes everything in your life. Your success, your relationships, your happiness, it all starts here, between your ears. But I'm not here to just tell you about this battle. I'm here to hand you the weapons you need to win it. Because once you understand how to take control of your mental battlefield, everything, and I mean everything, becomes possible. Consider this remarkable truth. Every single thought you think physically changes your brain. Scientists at major research institutions have proven that your brain continues forming new connections throughout your life. They call this neuroplasticity, but I call it your golden ticket to transformation. Let me make this practical for you. Right now, your brain processes about 60,000 thoughts every day. Most of these thoughts follow the same old pathways, like cars driving down familiar streets. When you think, "I'm not good at public speaking," or "I'll never be wealthy," you're not stating facts, you're simply traveling down well-worn roads in your mind. I worked with a talented young architect in Seattle who believed she couldn't run her own firm. "I'm not a business person," she'd say. "I'm just creative." For years, this thought kept her working for others, making less money than she deserved. But here's what's fascinating. When we traced this belief back to its source, we discovered it came from a single comment made by her high school teacher. One casual remark had shaped 15 years of her professional life. Your mind works like the most sophisticated computer ever created, but with one crucial difference. It acts on every instruction you give it, whether that instruction helps or hurts you. When you tell yourself, "This is too hard," your brain actually releases stress hormones that make the task harder. When you think, "I'm not the kind of person who," your brain creates evidence to prove you right. But this same system that can limit you also holds the key to your freedom. Every time you consciously choose a new thought, you begin carving a new pathway in your brain. Every time you challenge a limiting belief, you weaken its hold over you. This isn't positive thinking, it's mental reprogramming based on solid science. Learning to drive a car. At first, every action required conscious effort, but with repetition, these actions became automatic. Your limiting beliefs work the same way. They're just habits that have become automatic. And just like you learn to drive, you can learn new ways of thinking. The most dangerous limiting beliefs are the ones you don't even recognize as beliefs. "That's just the way things are. This is just who I am. That's just how the world works." These aren't facts, they're programs running in your mind. And starting today, you're going to learn how to rewrite them. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. That's why professional athletes use mental rehearsal to improve their performance. That's why successful executives visualize important meetings before they happen. They're not daydreaming, they're programming their minds for success. And right now, in this moment, you're either programming your mind for success or programming it for limitation. There's no neutral ground in this battle. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from negative thinking. And I mean exactly. No vague theories, no complex psychology, just clear, proven steps that work every single time if you apply them. Start by understanding this. Your negative thoughts follow patterns. Like a detective looking for clues, you need to catch these patterns in action. Take out a notepad right now. For the next 24 hours, every time you feel stuck, frustrated, or afraid, write down the exact thought that crossed your mind. Don't judge it. Don't try to change it. Just catch it. Let me show you what you'll find. One of my clients, a salesman from Detroit, did this exercise. His notes revealed something fascinating. Every time he needed to make an important call, the same thought appeared. They're probably too busy to talk. Every time he had to quote a price, another thought emerged. They'll think it's too expensive. These weren't random thoughts, they were his mental program running on autopilot. But here's where it gets interesting. When we trace these thoughts back to their source, we discovered something that changed everything. 20 years ago, during his first sales job, his manager had embarrassed him in front of the entire office for wasting people's time with calls. One incident, 20 years of limitation. Your limiting thoughts likely come from three main sources. First, direct programming, things people told you about yourself. Second, observed programming, conclusions you drew from watching others. Third, self-created programming, interpretations of your early failures or setbacks. Here's your action plan for breaking these chains. First, challenge every "I can't" thought with this question. According to who? When you find yourself thinking, "I'm not good at numbers," ask yourself, who wrote that program? When did I accept that as true? Next, create what I call a pattern interruption. The moment you catch a negative thought, physically snap your fingers or clap your hand. This simple action breaks the pattern and gives you a moment to choose a new thought. Remember, you can't stop negative thoughts from appearing, but you can stop them from taking root. Third step, replace each negative thought with a question. Instead of, "I can't afford it," ask, "How can I afford it?" Instead of, "This won't work," ask, "What if this succeeds beyond my wildest expectations?" Questions engage your mind in finding solutions rather than reinforcing limitation. I worked with a woman in Chicago who used this technique to transform her business. Every morning she replaced, "Will anyone buy this?" with, "How can I make this so valuable people can't wait to buy it?" Within 6 months, her revenue tripled. The only thing that changed was her mental programming. Here's another powerful tool. Create what I call evidence cards. Every evening, write down 3 pieces of evidence that contradict your limiting belief. If you think you're not leadership material, write down 3 times you successfully led others. If you think you're bad with money, write down 3 smart financial decisions you've made. Keep these cards with you. Review them every morning. You're literally reprogramming your mind with evidence of your capability. Remember this, your mind will fight to keep its old programs running. That's normal. When you start this work, you'll feel resistance. Old thoughts will fight back harder at first. This isn't failure. It's proof you're making progress. It's like cleaning out an attic. Things often look messier right before they get better. The key is consistency. You didn't develop your current thought patterns overnight, and you won't replace them overnight either. But every time you catch a negative thought, every time you challenge it, every time you replace it with a question, you're breaking another link in those chains. And here's something remarkable. Once you break free from one limiting thought pattern, others begin to crumble too. It's like dominoes falling. Break free from "I'm not good enough" in one area, and suddenly you'll find yourself challenging that belief everywhere in your life. Now let's build your mental strength into an unstoppable force. Just like an athlete doesn't become Olympic caliber by casual exercise, you won't develop mental toughness through occasional positive thought. You need a systematic approach, and I'm going to give you exactly that. Start your mental training the moment you wake up. The first 7 minutes of your morning set the tone for your entire day. Instead of reaching for your phone, sit up straight and take 3 deep breaths. Your mind is most programmable in these early morning moments. Use them wisely. I'll share a powerful morning routine that's helped thousands of my students. It's called the 7-7-007 method. First 7 minutes, sit in complete silence, focusing only on your breathing. Next 7 minutes, visualize your day going perfectly, seeing yourself handling challenges with confidence. Final 7, review your top 3 goals while feeling the emotion of already achieving them. A banker in Boston used this method to overcome his fear of public speaking. Every morning, he visualized himself giving presentations with complete confidence. He felt the certainty in his voice, saw the engaged expressions on his audience's faces, experienced the satisfaction of delivering value. Within 3 months, he went from avoiding speaking opportunities to volunteering for them. But visualization alone isn't enough. You need to create new neural pathways through consistent action. Think of your brain like a snow-covered hill. The first time you sled down, you can go anywhere. But each run creates a groove that makes it easier to follow the same path. Your thoughts work the same way. Each time you think a thought, you deepen its pathway. Here's your daily mental workout routine. First, thought replacement sets. Like a weightlifter does sets of exercises, you'll do sets of replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. Start with 3 sets of 5 replacements each day. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't handle this, immediately replace it with, I handle challenges well. Feel the new thought. Believe it. Second practice, mental contrast training. Think of a goal you want to achieve. Spend 1 minute visualizing achieving it in vivid detail. Then spend 1 minute identifying the biggest internal obstacle in your way. Finally, create a specific if-then plan to overcome that obstacle. This trains your mind to see both opportunities and solutions. Third, emotional strength training. Each day, intentionally do something slightly uncomfortable. Make that phone call you've been avoiding. Speak up in that meeting. Ask for what you want. Each small victory strengthens your mental muscles. One of my clients, a real estate agent, used this technique to transform her business. Every morning she made 1 call she'd been dreading, just 1. By facing her fear in small doses, she built mental strength gradually but consistently. Within 6 months, she was handling high-stakes negotiations with complete confidence. Here's another powerful technique, success scripting. Take 10 minutes each evening to write tomorrow's success story in advance. Be specific. I handle every challenge with calm confidence. I find solutions quickly. I communicate clearly and effectively. Your mind will work all night to align your reality with this script. But remember this crucial point. Mental strength isn't about never having negative thoughts. It's about building the capability to recognize them quickly and redirect them effectively. Even Olympic athletes feel fear. The difference is, they've trained their minds to use that fear as fuel. Create what I call mental emergency protocols. These are pre-planned responses to specific mental challenges. When anxiety hits, have a ready response. I've handled challenges before. I can handle this now. When self-doubt creeps in, I'm growing and learning every day. When fear arises, this fear means I'm about to grow. A surgeon I worked with used this technique brilliantly. Before every complex procedure, he had a specific mental protocol. 3 deep breaths, followed by I am skilled, prepared, and focused. This simple routine centered his mind and steadied his hands. Think of your mental strength like a bank account. Every positive thought, every small victory, every moment of intentional practice makes a deposit. Every negative thought makes a withdrawal. Your job is to keep your account growing through consistent deposits. Here's another powerful practice, mental rehearsal with progressive challenge. Start by visualizing yourself handling a small challenge successfully. Feel the confidence, the capability. Then gradually increase the difficulty in your visualization. See yourself handling bigger challenges with the same confidence. Your mind can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Track your progress. Keep a mental strength log. Each evening, rate your mental toughness on a scale of 1 to 10. Note what strengthened and what weakened it. Look for patterns. This isn't just record keeping, it's conscious programming of your mind for constant improvement. Remember this, mental strength isn't a destination, it's a practice. Just like physical strength requires consistent training, your mental muscles need daily workout. Some days will be harder than others. That's not failure, that's resistance training for your mind. Your inner dialogue is the most important conversation you'll ever have. Right now, at this very moment, you're talking to yourself about what I'm saying. That running commentary in your mind shapes everything, your confidence, your decisions, your actions, your results. Let me share something powerful with you. A study found that the average person talks to themselves at a rate of 150 to 300 words per minute. That's over 50,000 thoughts per day. But here's the critical part. You're not just observing your life with these thoughts, you're creating it. Your inner dialogue is like a blueprint that your life follows. I worked with a talented musician who kept telling himself, "I'll never make it in this industry." He'd been saying this so long, he didn't even realize he was saying it. But this one sentence shaped every decision he made. He wouldn't send demos to record labels. He'd skip auditions. He'd play small venues when he could have filled larger ones. His inner dialogue was creating his outer reality. Here's your first strategy for taking control: the stop, shift, replace technique. When you catch negative self-talk, say, "Stop out loud if you can," or firmly in your mind if you're in public. This creates a pattern interrupt. Then shift your body, stand up, straighten your shoulders, lift your chin. Finally, replace the negative thought with a specific, actionable statement. Instead of, "I'm not ready for this presentation," say, "I'm preparing thoroughly and will deliver value." Notice the difference? The first statement ends the game before it begins. The second opens the door to action. Here's another powerful tool: the "what would I tell a friend" technique. When you catch yourself in negative self-talk, stop and ask, "Would I say this to my best friend in the same situation?" Then give yourself the same compassionate, constructive advice you'd give them. This isn't about being soft on yourself. It's about being as fair to yourself as you are to others. A corporate executive I worked with transformed her leadership style using this technique. Instead of telling herself, "I'm too soft to be an effective leader," she started asking, "What would I tell a friend who's developing their leadership style?" This simple shift changed everything. She started seeing her empathy as a strength rather than a weakness. Turning negative patterns into positive fuel. Create what I call a power phrase portfolio. Take out a piece of paper. Write down every negative statement you commonly tell yourself. Next to each one, write a power phrase that directly counters it. Not just positive thinking, specific, actionable statements. If you tell yourself, "I always mess up under pressure," your power phrase might be, "I perform skillfully in challenging situations." If you think, "I'm not good with money," replace it with, "I'm learning and applying smart financial strategies every day." But here's the key. You must use these phrases before you need them. Olympic athletes don't start training the day before the competition. Similarly, you need to practice your power phrases during calm moments so they're automatic when you need them. Let me show you a technique I call dialogue directing. Set 3 specific times each day to check and direct your inner dialogue. I suggest 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. At each check-in, ask yourself, what have I been telling myself in the last few hours? Is this dialogue moving me toward or away from my goals? A sales professional I mentored used this technique to double his income in 8 months. He discovered that his afternoon self-talk was particularly negative, often filled with thoughts like, "Nobody wants to take calls this late in the day." By consciously directing his dialogue to, "This is a perfect time to connect with decision makers," his afternoon performance transformed. Now, about affirmations, they work, but not the way most people use them. Standing in front of a mirror saying, "I am rich," when your bank account is empty doesn't fool your mind. Instead, create what I call process affirmations. These focus on the actions you're taking and the person you're becoming. Instead of "I am successful," use "I'm taking daily actions to build my success." Instead of "I am confident," use "I'm building my confidence through consistent action." These statements ring true to your mind because they acknowledge where you are while emphasizing your movement forward. Here's another powerful strategy: dialogue anchoring. Connect specific locations or objects with specific types of inner dialogue. When you sit at your desk, that's your performance zone. Only solution-focused self-talk allowed. When you're in your car, that's your strategy zone. Time for constructive planning dialogue. This creates automatic triggers for positive self-talk. Remember this: your inner dialogue has momentum. Negative self-talk tends to spiral downward, while positive self-talk tends to spiral upward. Your job is to catch the downward spirals early and deliberately create upward ones. A technique I call success sourcing helps with this. When something goes well, have a dialogue with yourself about exactly what you did right. Be specific. This builds a database in your mind of your capabilities and successes, which automatically improves your self-talk in future situations. The quality of your life will never exceed the quality of your inner dialogue. That's not motivate, that's law. The words you say to yourself about yourself are either building your future or sabotaging it. There is no neutral ground in this game. Now I'm going to give you something more valuable than gold, a specific, proven plan of action that will transform your mental world. No theory, no philosophy, just pure action steps that work if you work them. First, you need your mental command center. Take a blank notebook. This becomes your battle plan headquarters. Every evening before bed, you'll spend exactly 15 minutes here planning tomorrow's mental game. Not a minute more, not a minute less. Consistency beats intensity every single time. I'll share what happened with a business owner in Phoenix who followed this system. His first entry was simple: I feel overwhelmed. But by following the daily practice I'm about to show you, within 60 days, his entries changed to detailed strategy sessions with himself. His business doubled in 6 months, not because the market changed, but because his mental command center changed his approach to every business challenge. Here's your daily action sequence. First thing every morning, before your feet touch the floor, complete your power hour. This breaks down into specific segments. 20 minutes of absolute silence. No phone, no radio, no distractions, just you, focusing on your breath, clearing your mental workspace. This isn't meditation, it's mental preparation for battle. Next 20 minutes, write out your 3 most important goals as if you've already achieved them. Read them aloud. Feel the emotion of achievement. Your mind can't tell the difference between vividly imagined success and real success. Use this to your advantage. Final 20 minutes. Review your victory log, the record of your previous wins, big and small. This programs your mind to look for success rather than failure. Now, here's your workday mental mastery schedule. Set your phone alarm for these specific check-ins. 10,000 a.m. First, mental alignment check. Rate your mental state 1,000. Identify any limiting thoughts that have crept in. Apply your power phrases. Course correct, if needed. 100 p.m. Momentum acceleration. Review morning victories. Reset mental focus. Strengthen your success expectations for afternoon challenges. 4 p.m. Power close protocol. Review day's mental wins. Identify patterns that worked. Plan tomorrow's mental strategy. A sales director I worked with used this schedule to transform her entire team's performance. She started with just herself, but the results were so visible that her team asked to learn the system. Within 3 months, they broke every sales record in the company's history. Here's how to measure your progress. Create what I call the mental mastery scorecard. Rate yourself daily on these 5 critical areas. 1. Thought control. How well did you direct your thoughts? 2. Response to challenges. Did you react or respond? 3. Mental energy management. Did you maintain peak mental state? 4. Goal clarity. How clear was your mental picture of success? 5. Action alignment. Did your actions align with your mental programming? Score each area from 1 to 5. Track your weekly averages. You'll see patterns emerge. This isn't just data collection, it's conscious mental programming through awareness. Now, establish your mental mastery zones. Designate specific physical spaces for specific types of thinking. Your desk is the strategy zone. Your car is the solution zone. Your exercise space is the power zone. Your evening chair is the growth zone. In each zone, only certain types of thoughts are allowed. This creates automatic triggers for positive mental states. A crucial part of your action plan is what I call obstacle reversal training. Each evening, identify tomorrow's biggest potential mental challenge. Write it down. Then write 3 specific ways you'll turn that obstacle into an opportunity. This programs your mind to see challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Create your emergency response protocol when negative thoughts or mental resistance hit hard. 1. Physical pattern interrupts stand-up. Change position. 2. Deep breathing 3 counts in. Hold for 3. Release for 6. 3. Power phrase activation. Use your pre-prepared phrases. 4. Immediate action step. Do something, anything, that moves you forward. An Olympic athlete I coached used this exact protocol to overcome pre-race anxiety. She went from being paralyzed by pressure to using that same energy as fuel for peak performance. Track everything. Your Mental Command Center notebook should show daily mental state ratings, victory logs, challenge responses, pattern observations, strategy adjustments. Review these weekly. Look for patterns. What mental strategies worked best? What triggered negative thought spirals? This isn't just record keeping, it's creating a personal blueprint for mental mastery. Remember this, implementation beats information every time. This action plan only works if you work it. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now. Take out that notebook. Make your first entry. Set those alarms in your phone. Create your mental command center. The difference between those who master their mental world and those who don't isn't knowledge, it's action. It's the daily discipline of following a proven plan until it becomes automatic. Winning the battle in your mind isn't a one-time victory, it's an ongoing campaign. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to maintain your mental victories and grow stronger through every challenge you face. First, understand this fundamental truth. Setbacks aren't failures, they're feedback. Every successful person I've worked with in the past 30 years has faced moments of doubt, periods of struggle, times when it seemed like all their mental training wasn't working. The difference is in how they handled these moments. Let me tell you about James, a corporate executive who mastered this principle. After 6 months of solid mental progress, he faced a major business setback. His old thought patterns came rushing back. But instead of seeing this as failure, he used what I call the setback success system. Step 1. Acknowledge the setback without judgment. Simply say, "This is a moment of mental challenge." Step 2. Review your mental victory log, all the times you've overcome similar challenges. Step 3. Apply your power response protocol. Here's your power response protocol for mental setbacks. 1. Immediate perspective shift. This is temporary and teachable. 2. Question focus. What can I learn from this? 3. Action step. Take one small action that proves you're still in control. But here's what's crucial for long-term success. You must create your mental maintenance system. Think of it like maintaining a high-performance car. You don't wait for a breakdown to do maintenance. Schedule weekly mental reviews every Sunday evening. During these reviews, evaluate your thought patterns from the past week. Identify any weak spots in your mental armor. Update your power phrases based on new challenges. Plan specific mental strategies for the week ahead. A surgeon I worked with used this system to maintain peak performance under extreme pressure. Every Sunday, she'd review her mental game from the previous week. She'd note which thoughts served her well and which needed upgrading. This wasn't just review, it was conscious mental strengthening. Build what I call resilience rituals. These are daily practices that strengthen your mental foundation. Morning power phrases. Before leaving bed, midday mental reset during lunch, evening victory review before sleep. The key to mental resilience isn't avoiding stress, it's building recovery into your daily routine. Like a muscle that gets stronger through stress and recovery, your mind builds resilience through challenge and renewal. Create your bounce-back blueprint now. Write down 1. 3 specific signs that you're slipping into old thought patterns. 2. 3 immediate actions you'll take when you spot these signs. 3. 3 people you can call for mental support. 4. 3 power phrases that snap you back to strength. Remember this. Mental strength isn't about never falling down. It's about how quickly you get back up. Every setback is an opportunity to prove the strength of your mental training. Your mind will test your new programming. That's natural. When this happens, treat it like a pop quiz, not a final exam. Each test is a chance to prove your mental mastery and strengthen your new thought patterns. A real estate agent I mentored used this approach to build unshakable confidence. Every rejection, every lost deal, every setback became a chance to prove her mental strength. Within a year, she wasn't just surviving challenges, she was actively seeking them as opportunities for growth. The ultimate key to maintaining mental victory is this: make it your new normal. Don't see it as something special you do, see it as who you are. You're not someone trying to think positively, you're someone who thinks powerfully. Right now, in this exact moment, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to more of the same, letting your thoughts control you, letting old patterns dictate your future, accepting limitations as truth. The other path leads to mental mastery, to a life where you control your thoughts, where you write your own story, where your mind works for you instead of against you. The choice is yours, but understand this: you've already taken the first step. By being here, by listening, by absorbing these strategies, you've already begun rewiring your mind for success. The question isn't whether you can do this, you've proven you can. The question is, will you do it starting right now? Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until the doubt is gone. Start now. Take out that notebook. Write down your first power phrase. Set those mental check-in alarms. Make your first entry in your mental command center. Remember, every great achievement in human history started with a single thought, followed by a single action. Your new life starts the same way. One thought, one action, one moment of decision. The battle in your mind is waiting to be won. You have the weapons, you have the strategy, you have the power. Now use them. Start today. Start now. Because the person you become when you win this battle is the person you are always meant to be. Your time is now. Take control. Win the battle. Transform your life.